This presentation is not about the authenticity of the George Washington angelic vision. Based on the known facts, it is easy to be skeptical of it. The source is a third-hand account. 99-year-old Anthony Sherman tells the story to Charles Wesley Alexander, also known as Wesley Bradshaw, in 1859 of a conversation Sherman had with George Washington in 1777. Bradshaw publishes the story in the National Tribune in 1880. With that in mind, the vision is an interesting read. George Washington has a vision of with an angelic visitor. The angel shows Washington three perils that the United States would pass through. The first peril is viewed as the Revolutionary War. The second peril is the Civil War in 1861. You can read the full account in the description portion. This presentation will focus on the third peril and compare it to a prophecy by Joseph Smith. At this the dark, shadowy angel placed a trumpet to his lips and blew three distinct blasts, and taking water from the ocean, he sprinkled it on Europe, Asia, and Africa. Then my eyes beheld a fearful scene. From each of these countries arose thick black clouds that were soon joined into one, and throughout this mass there gleamed a dark red light by which I saw hordes of armed men, who, moving with the cloud, marched by land and sailed by sea to America, which country was enveloped in the volume of cloud. And I dimly saw these vast armies devastate the whole country and burn the villages, towns, and cities that I had beheld springing up. As my ears listened to the thundering of the cannon, clashing of swords, and the shouts and cries of millions in mortal combat, I again heard the mysterious voice saying, "Son of the Republic, look and learn." When this voice had ceased, the dark shadowy angel placed his trumpet once more to his mouth, and blew a long and fearful blast. Instantly a light as of 1,000 suns shone down from above me, and pierced and broke into fragments the dark cloud which enveloped America. At the same moment the angel upon whose head still shone the word Union and who bore our national flag in one hand and a sword in the other, descended from the heavens attended by legions of white spirits. These immediately joined the inhabitants of America, who I perceived were well nigh overcome, but who immediately taking courage again, closed up their broken ranks and renewed the battle. Again, amid the fearful noise of the conflict I heard the mysterious voice saying, "Son of the Republic, look and learn." As the voice ceased, the shadowy angel for the last time dipped water from the ocean and sprinkled it upon America. Instantly the dark cloud rolled back, together with the armies it had brought, leaving the inhabitants of the land victorious. With this in mind, a prophecy by Joseph Smith was recorded in Mosiah Hancock's autobiography. Joseph Smith visited his home in 1844 while he was still young. Mosiah wrote down a number of things Joseph said while there, including the following prophecy: "There will be two great political parties in this country. One will be called the Republican, and the other the Democrat Party. These two parties will go to war, and out of these two parties will spring another party which will be the Independent American Party. The United States will spend her strength and means warring in foreign lands until other nations will say, 'Let's divide up the lands of the United States.' Then the people of the U.S. will unite and swear by the blood of their forefathers, that the land shall not be divided. Then the country will go to war, and they will fight until one half of the U.S. Army will give up, and the rest will continue to struggle. They will keep on until they are very ragged and discouraged, and almost ready to give up, when the boys from the mountains will rush forth in time to save the American army from defeat and ruin. And they will say, 'Brethren, we are glad you have come, give us men, henceforth, who can talk with God.' Then you will have friends, but you will save the country when its liberty hangs by a hair, as it were." If one was to take the time to compare these two prophecies or visions, some remarkable similarities are found. 1. In both, the nations of the earth unite against America and war occurs in the United States, with the U.S. lands being the battlefield. 2. In both accounts, the American forces become discouraged and almost overcome by the foreign invaders when they are joined by a heavenly group giving them strength to defeat the invading army. Both the George Washington vision and Joseph Smith prophecy share close similarities. It is as though one inspired the other, but there is no chance that either Mosiah Hancock or Anthony Sherman took information from each other. Both accounts are not primary sources but come second or third-hand sources, which are their main weakness, but even sources that come second-hand can be correct. Many critics of the Book of Mormon point to similarities between the Book of Mormon and other sources like the view of the Hebrews. They think that such parallels prove influence of one with the production of the other. This is an example that strong parallels between two sources do not prove one is influencing the other. It is possible for two separate sources to contain very similar ideas but neither influence the other, and this is a prime example of that. Thank you for your time.